Daylight, my MVVs, welcome.
I wish I had listened. Be careful not to end up like me. Send those women away before it's too late. The alleged last word from late Oba Adefunmi II from, South Carolina or Yotunji African village in USA to the Ooni of Ife. Now, if you have not been following what has been going on, the Oba of the African village or Yotunji in South Carolina, USA, passed on last week. He was sent to meet his ancestors by his own blood sister, who is 53. The Oba passed on at 47, quite young, okay? Almost the same age as the Ooni of Ife. And as report has it, he has a very amazing relationship with the Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi. They talk a lot and, they really love themselves. The reason is that, of course, you do know that the Ooni of Ife happens to be the spiritual father of the Yoruba people across the globe. And Oba Adefunmi became king soon after his father passed on in 2005, okay? Oba's father was a great king, Waje Adefunmi. He has other names, the first, okay? He discovered the African village in 1972. And right from that time, they tried to develop African village because the Americans, especially the black, were still in that place where they felt as though they were lost, especially the ones that, of course, knew that they were brought from Africa through slave trade. And so the man decided that he was going to establish an African village upon knowing that he's from the Yoruba ancestral group, okay? And now it's the African village. They did everything. And when he passed on in 2005, the son took over. The son, Adefunmi, is said to be, or was said to be, a great listener, a great king. He contributed so much to the growth of the African village right there in America. He contributed so much to the great Yotunji village, the African village. Oba Adefunmi, got married several times during his lifetime and fathered 6 princes and 16 princesses. He designed and contributed a major finance for most of the public buildings and templates at Oyotunji and worked on many of its numerous monuments and decorative carvings. Oba Adefunmi fostered the establishment of Yoruba template and shrines in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Indiana, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Florida, and Maryland, okay? He and his followers initiated thousands of priests into the ministries of Orisha Vodou. In so doing, Oba Adefunmi restored the African American, the ancient sacred priesthood of the deities Esu, okay? Orunmila, Obatala, Osun, Yamoja, Ogun, Oya, Shango, and Olokun, restoring the African descendant, the right of Gelede, Egungun, and ancestor worship. Okay? Now, this is a man who contributed so much and did a whole lot of great things for his people, and he is so loved by his people. But as we are hearing, I have told you, I am not related to these two families. It's not a first hand, a second hand, and a third hand information. These are all speculated information that this whole thing that happened right there, that somehow some of the Oloris have been caught in the web. Like play, this whole thing has snowballed into something that nobody can even talk about. Okay, I'm not emphasizing on it because this is very serious, but what we are hearing is that after the sister come Chukanai for Bele, They say that before Oba come by, say Oba sent message to one of his great friend, will be Kabiyesi, the Ooni of Ife, say if him been don't listen. The reason why I am using pidgin English to say this is because of the YouTube protocol. If you talk about say the chook person knife for belle, they no go gree the video, go. Now it do and they use this one, they talk am. Say na the sister vex so vex for all the talk gossip everything where they happen say na the sister go carry knife go put am for belle na the man come by. So they say as they put on that knife, say the last word wey him talk, say him send word to him wife, the first wife, and also send word to him friend, Ooni of Ife, that make Ooni of Ife, he wishes he had listened. That if he had listened, things wouldn't have turned up this bad for him. That Kabiyesi should send those women away that won't do him any good and restore the relationship between himself and Olori Naomi. Now, as we are hearing, they said this same thing that is happening to Kabiyesi, that is the same thing that happened to this man. They said in first that he married one lady. He, in his lifetime, 47-year-old man, now 7 wives he don't get, that he had, I think 4 princes and I think 16 princesses. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. And again, another correction. The African village was established in 1970, not 1972, please. Okay? Uh-huh. Then they said he married one woman, that the woman was the love of his life. The love of his life, that woman is somebody who came out of a slave, like a slave girl, that is the lineage is one slave girl, something this thing. And they fell in love. That girl was so, they were there together. They were, even when they said the king went to African Royal Academy, that the girl also had to go to that Royal Academy because she wanted to be close to the husband. That after everything, they now brought a culture. If you know anything about the African Royal village, Oyotunji, if you go close to Oyotunji, I haven't been there, but I've been seeing pictures. You say you are living United States of America. You see pictures where you will see signposts where they are you see the inscription, you are living the United States of America. Then when you're entering the village, you see you're entering an African village, Oyotunji. So there are this group of people claim that they are not Americans, they are Africans who are there. That is their place. The government approved that place for them because the father had told the government that he wanted to practice his spirituality. And if you know Americans, they respect people's spirituality so much, so they had to open that place for the father. And in our Yotunji village, if you want to ask what is going on there, before now, they say it used to be very strict, that the children from that village were not even going to school. They were being schooled inside there. They were taught the culture, they were taught the tradition of African people. And the father, that is late Waju Adefumi, the first before the son, okay? That man, at that time, when people will leave Oyotunji to go and work for the Oyibo man, he will have zero respect for them. The reason is because he says that they have you have been enslaved for over 200 years by the Oyibo man, and now you have freedom, but slavery will not let you still want to continue working for them. So every finances that was being generated was generated from Oyotunji. The father was a very hardworking man. They were generating their own resources and building the Oyotunji village. But when they started multiplying, children started growing. Children wanted more for themselves. How is it possible that you be in an African in the United States of America, but you want to be locked up in one village? And you know that the young people of this generation will not want to do that. They wanted more for themselves. They started leaving the village to go out there. That's so now when Oba became, when Adefunmi, the father passed on in 2005, he became the Oba. And they're still promoting their culture, but this time they were letting their children go out so that they can work and also bring taxes, revenue, and all of that to also develop their own African village. It's a whole lot. I think this topic is a topic that I would like to bring here, and it's a whole lot. But what is going on right now? They said at the time he had a very beautiful woman that was head over heels in love with him. They grew up together. They went to that Royal Academy together, and they did a whole lot. But because that woman wanted more for herself, she wasn't ready to be locked up in the Oyotunji setting. She was looking at bringing Oba Adefunmi outside so that they can go get more and all of that. They said they had a lot of issues before the father died. There was this confusion, left, right, and more wives from the local community. Women were bringing wives and all of that. And then the question you might want to ask is that how is it possible that he is allowed to marry as many wives as that in America? You need to understand that your Tunji village is said to be an African village. Their laws, their tradition, their religion is allowed. That was what the government allowed for them. And so this man, if you look at him, very handsome man and all of that, with all of these women wanting their daughters to be married to him, remember they are practicing Ifa religion. Everything that we are doing here is what they are doing. And so this man got lost and started carrying all of these women up and down, and the other one got really mad, and that was how the relationship dabaru. Now, when, at some point, shortly before he died, he was trying to make men ways with the other one because he's gotten married to up to 7 wives. He's had like 4 princes, five, I think 4 or 5, and about 16 princesses across Canada, Jamaica, Oyotunji there, in Virginia, Orange, Virginia County, and all of that. And so right now, at the end of the day, whatever happened, the sister go to knife for Belenasto. They say when he was going, he said there's 2 messages. One to his first wife, that woman, the love of his life, and the second to the Ooni of Ife to return, restore his relationship with Queen Naomi. He wishes he had listened, that Ooni of Ife should not end up the way he ended up. I'm going to bring you more update. I appreciate you guys so much. Do not forget, these are all alleged, rumored, and speculated information making the rounds on social media.